Thank you for being with us, Macarena. My name is Rajul Shah. I'm with Purple Octopus Art, and I have with me today an artist, Macarena Zilveti. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
From Miami, Florida. She's going to tell us about her work, herself, and how her artwork helped her to cope. So welcome, Macarena, and just for recording purposes, you do know this is being recorded and you're okay with that. Um,
Yes.
our collaborator, Teo, will edit this video, so all my little mistakes and pauses.
And mine too.
Yeah, so
Our
you kind of get
mistakes.
like, they just get crossed out, so we don't have to worry
Right.
about
It
it.
didn't happen.
Right. So, again, Macarena, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. Just to start, please tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to be an artist, your relation to cancer. Um, give me some background so
Okay.
our viewers can also
Okay.
learn about you.
So art, I always wanted to be an artist. People would ask my sister and me what we wanted to be when we grew up, and I just always said, I'm going to be an artist. My sister would say, I want to be a mother. And it's funny because I was a mother before she was. But anyway, so I went to art school. But I majored in advertising design.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I work in. That's basically what I do right now. I do marketing and advertising. I've been doing it since I graduated from college in '83. So it's been a long time and it's changed a lot. We were doing it by hand first, and now everything's digital. So, but anyway, but I have a BFA, so I went to art school. So when I first went, the first years, I was double majoring. I was majoring in advertising and painting, which I
Wow.
love. I've always wanted to paint, always. Anyway, art has always helped me. Um, it's just helped me live, I think. It's a part of me. I think I don't know what I would be if I wasn't an artist. Even, I mean, like I love nature, for instance. And during the pandemic, I did a whole series of photographs called oh my God, now of course I'm gonna forget what they were called. Eh, it was
Okay.
a hashtag. But anyway, and it was just to let people know how beautiful nature was. So I did close-ups. I have a lot of flowers in the backyard, a lot of plants in the backyard, a lot of native Floridian plants in the backyard. And I did that a lot just for people to like take it easy, relax, stop thinking about the pandemic so much and just say, hey, look at nature, there's other things that you can focus on besides the stress. Um and then I first started drawing breasts, actually, after I got my first mammogram, which I was in my 30s. I was young, and I had gotten an account I lived in Orange County, California. I had gotten an account from the Komen Foundation, the local account in Orange County, and
Okay.
we were promoting mammograms for the Hispanic community.
Okay.
And so I thought, okay, if I'm going to be promoting this, I want to get one. I want to feel what it's like, you know? So that's when I had my first one. And after I got it, I drew two breasts, and the cancer in my mind and in the drawing was outside of the breast. The bad stuff was outside, and the beauty was inside that breast. Now, let me backtrack and tell you why I had thought that the bad stuff was outside. I grew up with cancer in my family. My grandmother had a mastectomy when she was 48, and so I always saw her without a breast. I used to sleep with her, and to me, she just, it was normal. She didn't have one. Not that it was normal, but I mean, it wasn't like this horrible thing. My grandfather, her husband, died of cancer when I was 6. He suffered a lot. He was in bed a lot. Very painful for him. He ended up having bone cancer, so it was very painful for him.
I'm sorry.
And my grandmother, on the other hand, always, I mean, my grandmother died at almost 97, and she had breast cancer and ovarian cancer. And but it was her, it was her attitude towards life. She was always thankful for everything. My mother got cancer when she was in her 60s,
Mm,
and that's when it really affected me. Even though I had drawn, those breasts without cancer. I mean, I haven't gotten any cancer, thank God. Um, but it still affected me. And after my mother lived in Chile, and I went down to take care of her during her at the hospital. After she had her surgery, she had a radical mastectomy. And after that, I remember going back to Chile and seeing her scar, seeing her in the shower and seeing her scar. And I thought, oh my God, I thought, wow, like it hurt her, but it hurt me too, just to see her. So that's when I drew, I hurt too, not then, but I mean later on, I hurt too, because I wanted her to know you're not alone. I'm also, in your pain or with your pain. Um, and then besides that drawing, I also did, like the one that the Semaphore, which you have, the one with the breasts. It's happy. I did a lot of breasts like that. I just, to me, they're so important. They're what make us women. They're what some of us use, or most of us use, to feed our children when they're little. um they make us feel sexy. um they're just, and when one is taken away, it's removed, it's almost like having a limb removed, I think. I mean, I've never experienced it, but to me it must be. I mean, and I know, for instance, that when and my mother had told me, I don't think she realized at the time, because after she had her mastectomy, she never got reconstruction. And she told me that she started having back pain. And I've been told that if you don't get a reconstruction, or you don't have something that balances the weight in your body,
oh,
you will get back pain, because your body's used to having two weights. And then if you remove one, it's out of balance. Your body has to compensate for that weight being gone, and what the other side of your body having that weight stressing it. So, it's things that you don't even think about. But anyway, so that's that's what inspired that series of art.
wow. That's I'm happy to hear that you have been cancer free so far. And I'm very sorry to hear about your mom, but I can understand what you're saying. And actually, since you are talking about your artwork, and I know you did tell us what's inspiring it. I am going to put up Seno. So tell me, I know that your mother was the inspiration for this artwork, um, and the other artwork. How did it help you to process what was going on with your mother? Is there a
Uh,
purposeful choice of color or drawing that you?
yeah, my mother always loved the sea, also, always. So that's why this has like a fish breast in
Okay.
it. um Outside of the body. um and to me, it's happy, it's full of life, full of color. There's even color in the background, there's swirls. um it was like a magical piece. Art just always makes me happy when I do it. So I think that I wanted to transmit that too. I wanted to transmit that happiness and that feeling alive to others.
It's a beautiful piece, and I love the color that you've used here, and the contrast. Um, let me pull up the other piece. I hurt too. But tell me about this now,
Mm.
if you don't mind me asking. Did you paint these both during or after your mom already had gone through her mastectomy?
This was after, because
Okay.
it was, this one was actually uh painted after I saw her her scar. It just impacted me so much, even though, as I said, I had seen my grandmother always, but it didn't really hurt me. When I saw my mother, I just saw her so vulnerable and so scarred. If so I came home and I painted that. Um and the background, and actually the body too, it's done with oil pastels.
Mhm.
So it's not really painted. It was a longer process. It's done with oil pastels and just like hashtagged, the background and the body with different strokes and different colors.
Like a broken color with oil pastels.
Yeah, yeah.
What were you feeling when you were painting this? Because I feel a lot of
Pain,
emotion coming through
pain.
this paint.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's called I Hurt Too. Oh, it hurt me so much. It hurt so much to see my mother's wound.
I'm sure it did. Wow. And how did you feel after you painted it? Did, did you feel a
I,
release?
yeah, I felt like I had, yeah, gotten it out of me. And I wanted others to see that they weren't alone, that there were others who felt the way they had.
And the other piece I forgot to ask, did you paint that during or after the
That
mistake?
was before my mother had breast cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, your work is really amazing. How is your mom doing now?
My mom passed away 3 years ago in October from metastatic breast cancer.
I apologize for
It's okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
She's the only one, my mother, my aunt, her sister, my grandmother, and my great grandmother all had breast cancer. All of them. And my mother's the only one who died from it, because my grandmother died of old age, my great grandmother died of old age, and my aunt is still alive. She's a year older than my mother. And so my aunt's going to be 90. And my mother just couldn't make it. It came back in January of 2020.
I'm I can see that you have my heart and my prayers with you.
Thank you.
I don't know what else to say. How do you still, how does your artwork and painting help you now?
I actually did I did and I'll send it to you via email. I did an artwork of her.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it was the last photo I took of her when she was here at the beach in Hollywood. And she loved the beach, as I said. And it's just this beautiful photo of my mother. And so I printed it out, and I made a collage, and I put it on a piece of board, a piece of wood, and then I drilled holes and I stitched around it, kind of like the Madonnas have the rays.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like that. And then it has seashells on the top, and then it has algae at the bottom. It has like a bluish
Wow.
background. And I have it in my bedroom, so I see it every day. And it's that smile of hers that's just so beautiful that you know, she's with me.
Wow. I can't thank you enough for sharing. Is there anything else you want to share with us about how art has helped you? It sounds like it's been an extension of you your entire life.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you are aware, but I had a foundation which I had to close this year because I no longer had funds. But it started with what I call a badge of courage, which is a boob. I have some here. I'll show you what they look like.
Okay.
I made the first one. I painted it,
Oh, wow.
so it's a boob. And the first one was painted and beaded, and then it had a word on the back
Oh, wow. Hope.
that said hope. So I made the first one for my mother, um because it was in a way to give back to her what had, in my mind, been taken away from her. So her breasts had been taken away from her, and I said to her, I said, I want you to have this because this is like a little jewel that I want you
Hmm.
to. And then after that, there were others that we made. See, like this is another one, and they're all handmade. They were
So
all
beautiful.
hand beaded. They all had a word on the back, and they were all made in Chile by women who had been affected by breast cancer, either
Wow.
them or their relatives or somebody in their family had been affected by breast cancer. So that's another way that I also helped. I've always felt empathy towards others, and that was a way that I wanted to help the community. So every year we would have a fundraiser, and I would give a blank badge of courage to an artist, and they would paint one, and then we would auction it off.
That's amazing. You are amazing. I
Thank you.
I am so grateful for you. And I, I'm really, I've not met you personally, but I'm really grateful for all of that. Um, you, you help me to continue to believe that there is goodness in the world.
Thank you, Rachel.
So I really thank you from the bottom of my heart. And Macarena, I thank you for doing this interview. I really appreciate it. I'm going to stop recording.